fuck! Boys, but this is incredible. I've invested fucking 38 minutes into this character and I'm not even fucking level 30. Halfway at level 60. This is ridiculous. Fuck this shit. I'm heading back to retail. Wednesday. Reset day and the first day of the season 1 of the War Within. There we go. Logged in. Let's head to the vault, guys. So we'll see what this is about. Generating loot for restoration. Oh, let's see. Fuck! Trinket. Weapon trinket. Wrist. Hero track chest. Tier chest with indestructible. And a candlestick trinket. This is not easy. Guys, this is not easy. Boom, boom. Let's go. Restoration Shaman best in slot. The War Within. Let's go. Trinket. Okay, I do not have that fucking trinket as a... None of these fucking items are on the biz list. Well, then I think I'm actually gonna go for... I'm gonna go for the weapon. Because I need bigger weapon. You see this shitty ass fucking weapon? It's like nothing. So after that intro, guys, I'm just gonna be honest and say I've never really taken retail WoW that seriously. I've just been, raiding heroic and getting my keystone hero for every season throughout Dragonflight and last season of Shadowlands. So this time around I figured I want to set myself a goal, and I'm setting myself a high one. I want to become the rank 1 restoration shaman. And I'm going to share my journey with you. So today we're going to go through the early Mythic Plus that we did and all of these things. And I'm guaranteeing you don't want to miss something on this journey, because it's happening a lot of funny stuff in these dungeons. But before we start, I'm just gonna take a sip out of my Zug Zug coffee mug and make sure that I'm not spilling anything on my Loot Master t-shirt. Link in the description, by the way. So the first dungeon that we did in this season was a +2 Mists of Tirna Scithe. It was actually quite smooth. I know +2s are really simple. It's no big deal there. But the group we had did manage this boss pretty well. The mage didn't bloodlust too early. And then after we downed the first boss, we headed into the maze where, I'm having a little bit of PTSD from doing this in Shadowlands. But it was fine, we didn't screw that up at all. Pulling the second boss here, we're, just going out there. Some people are getting hit by the balls. You see the warlock there just soaked it like a champ. Doing the guessing game, I'm always leaving the tank to do this. And they did okay, we didn't take that much damage. And I could just get my healing stream totems out there, dodging the balls like a real champion. You see the mage did not do that just before the boss died, and he just actually typed oops, and I just answered with an easy oopsie. There we go. After that boss we just cleared the trash, no big deal here at all. We just popped Bloodlust on the boss and started pumping. For those of you who haven't done this before, this boss throws some shit on the ground that you have to avoid. The shit starts moving after a while. You can also see the Salataft's bargains there that you need to kick in some way. They also do the mind link. You just need to run away to break it. The tank was following me a little bit, so I had to chase him around. You can see here the green stuff on the ground again. This time it's moving, so you need to make sure that you're not running into it. Then our tank forgot where to pull the last count to complete the dungeon, so he was thinking about running back. We showed him we could just pick up these bugs here. We make sure to kill them. We have about 9 minutes left. This is not my own key, by the way. I just joined a pug, and boom, first key of the season done. +2. And the most important thing here is that we're gonna see what loot we got. We're chill, we're cool to play with, and we got a Warbound Waste. Second one is Necrotic Wake here, second pug I joined actually. And this run was pretty smooth up until this point. You can see I sped this up a lot. What happened is when we killed the second boss and heading up to the Necropolis, our tank just spammed DC'd. And his friends just threw him under the bus here. So I think we probably waited a good amount of time. You can see the timer is ticking down up in the left corner. And we're down to 19 minutes now, and he just keeps getting thrown back with the flight path. And then he's gonna disconnect. And then we're just gonna wait for him. And he got up. You see he's standing there, but he's still offline. Just boom, there he vanished. Still offline. His friends telling me he's about to be back. And eventually the Red Paladin just gets tired and starts pulling stuff. Eventually the tank does come back. We killed the third boss here without any big issues. You know, nobody screwed up the meat hook or anything like that, so it was good. Last boss as a healer is probably the most boring shit ever. You know, you just stand, cast spells, and you know, don't get hit by the comet storm. We also forgot some count here that we realized after we killed the boss, so you can see 5 minutes left, 5% count, so our tank just headed back down, and we just cleared out the last couple of trash mobs. And boom, there we go, completed. Second key done. It was also a pug, but I decided to re-roll my own keystone from Mists to Necrotic Wake, and I didn't get any loot from this one either, so Heartstone out. After I went back to Necrotic Wake doing a quick +2, I got a +4 City of Echoes, and I joined up with a group here that we just decided to smash this boss. The guys decided that we're gonna ignore the ads, so we'll see how that goes. You can see this shit actually hurts on Tyrannical, and we also figured out that if you look at this clutch Spirit Link there, save the tank real good. But look closely here, if you don't kill the ads and you pull the boss over to the ads, you'll see it real soon, he's gonna enrage. So look at the boss now, he's got like 10% HP, I'm throwing out my slow totems, my stun totems, I'm just trying to be a good boy, helping the group out. See here, the boss goes boom, uber enrage, and then he just dies. Second boss, not a big deal, it's more of a dance fight. Just get in there, make sure to stand close to him, run out with infestation if you get it. And actually I'm not really feeling the scaling of Mythic Plus so far. I know it's just a +4, it's easy and whatnot, but I thought the scaling was gonna be harder and more punishing. You can see here I'm almost screwing up. I just have a lucky guy that I'm alive there. Just some smart use of defensive cooldowns. We keep pushing the boss, and we get to the smaller area where we need to do the same thing but with a lot less room to work with. So you can see here we got infestation on the paladin, he drops it straight in the group. We also get knockback, we got 3 or 4 infestations just running around. And as a shaman, you know, this is pretty okay. You know, I saved my Spirit Walker's Grace for this, so I could just run around and heal when I needed to. But it's overall, you know, the group is doing good, nobody's taking excess damage, and the mage is absolutely pumping, as you can see down in the right corner. And the boss is about to go down really soon. I just dropped my infestation out there. And I promise you guys, you want to stick around for the end of this dungeon, because it gets messy. Just trust me. I had a really good feeling after doing the first 2 bosses that this is gonna be all good. Down he goes, Windrush totem up, and here we go, the bane of my existence. You can see even the mage chair writes deplete ink, a +4 with 14 minutes to go. So we pull the boss, everybody gets up close, we avoid the swirlies on the ground, You can see these black pools, you need to pay attention to those, because you're going to wanna stand in them. I screw up here right away, but I can onk back up. I was just not paying attention with my poison cleansing totem when clearing these poison debuffs and releasing these orbs. So Cosmic Boom is about to go off. We eat one pool each, and you can see here that our guys managed to do that without any problem. The DK died for some reason, I don't know why, and I'm just trying to get myself out. We combat rest the DK. I threw down an Ancestral Protection Potion totem. I died again. Onked my second time here, boom, to get up. And I just tried to get the group back under control. I think it's the first time any of us are here on Mythic Plus, and honestly, so we're not really used to stuff hitting as hard. But it was a good learning experience. You know, you can see here again the poison pools, dispel them with poison cleansing totem, make sure to get the group back under control. Tank is getting really low, throw down a link on him, keep our healing stream totems going, root myself, throw out my acid rain. I'm just trying to clear myself out of this, of the roots. Boom. I see now watching the video, I think I can actually kick the blob and get out of the root, but I didn't realize that while we were playing. So poisons are out again. I'm just trying to get the group under control, using my healing as good as possible. During one of these fights you can actually tell that the rest of Shaman isn't that mobile, you know, the small movements. Like let's say I was a resto druid here, I could just do stutter stepping and throwing hots on people all the time. Really well timed, deeply rooted elements there was really needed so I could get the group back under control. Mana is still fine though, I'm at by 40% or something. So here again, you know, I could maybe have kicked the blob. Tank goes down. He got stuck in some bad damage. We kite the boss around and eventually he is going down. There we go. Not the cleanest kill, I have a lot to learn here, but it was a good learning experience to do this in a +4 so I can carry that with me into hierarchies. We'll throw a rest on the guys, and then we'll see, should be some looting coming my way. From this one I got a +6 Dawnbreaker, actually. It was a good key. If we would have died so much in the last boss, we would have free chested this one. So I end up with a headpiece, 600 item level, champion track, worse than what I had. We stick with the same group. We changed out the Paladin for another Death Knight. Stick with the same group of guys. Headed to the Dawnbreaker, +6. So here we also had a lot of good learning experiences. You know, I started out by drinking a little bit before the first boss. We pop Time Warp and off we go. This is also a good tactic to know as a healer, that just before the guys pull, make sure that you're sitting down and drink so you can drink before the mechanics actually start. I'm throwing on a Wind Rush totem for the guys here to make sure that they can avoid this beam. The tank keeps standing in it for some reason, but we'll get to that later. And also see this debuff that I'm really quick on dispelling on myself. You know, it's just instinctual. I try and get the group back under control, and this is soon where I'm gonna fuck up again and learn something that you need to pay even more attention. So see here, boom. Evoker gets the debuff, I forget to dispel him and we get fly away. If you don't dispel him, he can't fly away, which means he's gonna die. And there he goes. And the tank also stands in the beams right before the boss dies. I'm thinking this is gonna be really shitty, but we just fly away during that one and the boss goes down. After the mini bosses, then tank just flies into the cathedral, which is the preferred way of doing it. We clear that, we head to the house. Here is where some guys get slapped by a frontal. The camera work there is really shitty. After clearing some trash, we head to the second boss. This one, good thing to know, when you did this on Heroic or Mythic 0, you didn't really need to care about the ball, but make sure that the ball doesn't hit any walls or like the houses or anything, because that's gonna hurt a lot. He's also gonna have some periods of really high group damage. Make sure that you can stay pretty stacked and just heal your way through, don't slack on it. So for the last boss, I mainly focused here on doing bombs, helping the group out so that the DK and the mage could just pump. Me and the AUG, we helped each other out with the other stuff. So this one is it's pretty interesting. You know, it's a lot. If you do it correctly, you just avoid all of the poison waves, like you can see here. Real good play by the Augmentation Evoker. You're also gonna do this pulsing AoE damage. Make sure to save a cooldown for it. I used Link on the first one so I could have it up for later in the fight. I'm also carrying, like I see, dropping bombs, doing Spirit Walker's Grace, trying to heal at the same time, throwing it at the boss. And then we just keep pumping heals. We go on flight, following him. Something you need to keep in mind is that in Heroic you can just fly straight to the place. I would recommend you just follow the boss, because you get this debuff that you can see up in my right corner. If you don't have the light debuff, you're gonna take damage. We're gonna see that later, because this instance was actually bugged for us. So the boss lands back down again, we start blasting. No big deal, like even on a +6 the damage isn't that high. We +1 it, we could have done so much better. We had a lot of screw ups before the second boss. And there you can see we get that darkness debuff and boom, everybody dies after the key is complete. So we rest back up on the Dawnbreaker. I use my Ankh just because I can. I will see if I get any loot here. Yeah, good. I get some shoulders. Good. Champion track, 606 item level. Not the best stats, but it's an upgrade nonetheless. So after that we headed to the last Mythic Plus of this week, of this episode I should say, back to Mystic Tirna site, this time a +7. With the same group we changed out the DK and the Augmentation Evoker for Shadow Priest and another Augmentation Evoker. First boss, no problem. I can just tell you that this boss is so boring as a healer, especially if you're playing with pretty good players, because they're not taking any excess damage. So the only time anyone is going to take damage is if they stand in the blue pools you see on the ground right now. Really fucking boring. Otherwise you just DPS. I usually use my healing tide totem for small healing sequences here, so I can just DPS all the time and contribute in that way. Otherwise, you know, you can see that mage is absolutely pumping, which is a good thing. He's probably carrying the key, but he enjoyed playing with us, so it's good. Here you can see again, like, there's only if you stand in those things that you're taking excess damage. And we just keep pumping the boss, pumping the boss, pumping the boss. Bloodlust is going. Our Augmentation Evoker is boosting up the group, is playing pretty well actually. And we'll see, I think we may be able to one-phase this boss. Nope, can't do that, let's head back. But I also noticed that in Mythic Plus here, back in Shadowlands, this guy actually had a damage reduction shield. He doesn't now, so you can just cleave these two guys down if you want to. You don't have to just focus the big guy to be able to go back to the smaller guy. Also a really well-timed Salathaf's bargain there, where you can clear those orbs really quickly and get 20% haste and 20% movement speed, just to get like a mini Bloodlust on the boss. Really easy, and it's super simple to deal with as a Restoration Shaman. You just either drop a Thunderstorm, a Cap Totem, or, you know, since I'm a Tauren, I can drop my War Stomp on them as well, and they're just cleared. I can pretty much solo clear all of them. Anyway, down the first boss goes, and then we head into the maze, and I thought this was going to be cool because it was fine on a +2, but the mage actually screwed up the maze, and he just wrote he was never going to do it again. After the next boss here, Mistcaller on Tyrannical, +7. What's the biggest difference from +2? Well, first of all, everything does more damage, but if you just don't stand in shit, you know, just make sure that you're placing yourself so you're not hit by the balls, it should be fine. I also changed some talents for this run, so I changed to Earth Grab Totem. Make sure that you're using it when the freeze tag starts, so you can help your group out. You can see here the little fox is going, he's getting slowed now because he got split damage from my Earth Grab. I also stunned him there so that the mage can just stand and pump. We go into the guessing game, and here, you know, we had a little bit of a discussion. I think it's this one or the next one that we really need a weak aura to track the guessing game and where we want to go, because we were really confused. There we go, fixate on me with a freeze tag. You can see the mob over there with a cross. I just make sure to place myself so I'm not getting hit by any balls. Earth Grab Totem down, just to make sure that the mob doesn't move anywhere, doesn't disturb anyone, and everyone can just keep pumping and everyone is a happy camper. Next freeze tag is up, fixate on me again. New Earth Grab. Just run away, he's gonna be slowed. Mage dropped a good blizzard on him, so he's gonna keep being slowed and the mob is gonna just die all over after a good while. Bargain goes out, we get a haste buff, perfect for the guessing game so we can burn through this phase. Careful positioning so I'm not getting hit by any balls from the boss, and here we go. Keep pushing. This guessing game phase can actually hurt a little bit, so make sure that you're saving up your cooldowns for it. And when damage starts coming in, don't tunnel your frames. Remember that the dodging the ball is the most important thing. If you stand in the ball, you're gonna die. That's just as simple as it is. Boom, again, dodge the ball. Got a mass barrier from the mage as well, which is a really good play. Fixate is down, Earth Grab down again. So you can just focus the boss. Help with damage when you can, when you feel the group is stable. There we go. Surging Totem down for the acid rain. Tank smooth keeps the boss in it, but he doesn't stand in it himself, so he doesn't get any healing. Solid play. New balls. Boom, dodge him. Good. Fixate on the mage. New Earth Grab Totem. And we just can keep blasting the boss, and she's gonna go down after this guessing game. Windrush, so we can get in position quickly. More important when you're playing with a lot of melees, but it works good when you're playing with a ranged as well. Your tank is always gonna appreciate you dropping some speed totems. Here again, guessing game phase. Goes a little bit more healing on him. I actually haven't used my Ascendance yet, but I used it there just to get the group back under control, so I can keep pumping. Here, notice the frontals that move out of it. And the boss is about to go down. Overall, you know, this dungeon I think is the easiest one in the dungeon pool for this season. I think this is one you're going to be able to push the highest key on. But anyway, we just get back into clearing the trash. Goes by really fast, and off we go to the last boss of this Mists of Tirna Scythe. The boss goes down without any big issues at all. Really smooth, +2, so I'm currently sitting on a +9 key. And we're gonna see if we get any good loot from this dungeon. You know, really smooth. I really enjoyed playing with the guys here. No big problems whatsoever. So we'll see. +7. What's the loot gonna be? Let's press it. Boom. Just gold. Shit. Well, anyway. But before we wrap up this episode, you know, I sticked with the tank and we did a Black Temple Timewalking. And I never played TBC or anything, but I really enjoyed doing this with a group of people instead of just doing it solo farming transmog. But the tuning is, it's all over the place, man. Like Magentas there, just easy. We one-shot every boss, by the way. It wasn't really a big challenge, but you know, it goes from not having to heal at all to, you know, not really having to heal all the time. But you can see here, like on Shade of Akama, I was just watching loot all over the place, like what's gonna happen. And you can also see that my UI is not built for 30 memory rooms, but who cares. Still no items, free bosses and no items at all. This is where I'm gonna start, you know, challenging myself, because I was actually quite bored healing this. It was so easy, not much to do, so I figured I might as well do the most healing out of every healer here. So I'm soon gonna change my frames, my details from damage to healing. Terrangorphy didn't give us any loot, so we had the Reliquary of Souls. This is probably the... I get it that it was epic back in the day, right? Back in TBC or even classic TBC, but here it's just tedious because it's so much downtime and nothing's really happening, and no loot either, so I'm getting kind of pissed off at this time. Gurtok Blood Loyal. Here you can see I'm starting to change into healing done on my details, just I'm gonna start competing a little bit more. I feel that I need to just heal as much as I can. And here you can see this is a real boss where the scaling is really weird. Everybody who gets slapped by the boss just gets one tapped. I don't know, maybe they should have taunted, maybe they should have done something differently. I don't know, but you know, it's all over the place. And the boss is about to go down, last couple of percent. I'm actually thinking here like we can't wipe on time walking. I'm gonna be so embarrassed. But down he goes, and before we loot, we're always gonna be a good healer and rest our friends. So I'm casting my ancestral vision, and boom, everybody got rest before me. And we actually get some loot from this. We get a staff. Champion track staff with bit stats, which is good. It's actually an upgrade when I can start getting it to higher ranks. Mother Shastra is up, and she's also like really face roll. Actually now we're starting to realize that people have been AFK throughout this whole raid. They're just sitting at the start of the dungeon waiting, and then they're just running in and collecting loot from every boss when we're almost done. No loot from her. Illidari Council is up. This boss fight is also really simple, and I'm pretty much not paying attention. I think I'm probably scrolling Twitter on my second monitor when I'm not not really healing, but I'm still topping the meters. You know, it's, although, you know, the raid is really easy, it's quite good, you know, practicing reaction times and, you know, seeing when stuff happens. And then we get to the big finale, Illidan Stormrage. And like I said, I've never played this back in the day, but I need to be honest and tell you, I understand that this must have been so epic when this was current content, because the scale of the fight, it's cinematic, it's, you know, it's interesting. Different damage going out, different phases, you know, there's a little bit of RP, you know, there's stuff like this all the time. I really enjoyed this fight. And you can see here, when we're getting him down low and we're getting him to Shadow Prison, I actually start noticing that my Shaman competitor is out healing me, which I can't really take, so I'm just gonna start pumping a lot harder. I'm just throwing down my cooldowns, trying to regain the lead of the healing down meter. And I'm not really used to seeing these small numbers, but it's scaling, I think. I'm healing for 43 with my healing tide totem. But whatever happens, you know. You can see here he starts to take over again. I don't know what he did. Maybe he threw down a spirit link or something, but I'm doing the same. Trying to stabilize the group. And this is where I'm going to do a big brain play. You can see here he's a little bit ahead of me when the boss is going down, but it's a bit of downtime before we actually can loot the boss. So, what's gonna happen? Well, I'll show you really soon. Look here. We got a couple of guys standing in fire, so I'm just throwing my healing rain down, healing them while they're standing in the fire. And the result? I'm back on top, baby. Just look at this. Boom. Back on top. Did I get any loot from Illidan though? Well, yes, I actually did. I'm gonna show you what I got as soon as he goes down there. I got another weapon. I got a crit haste staff, which is really good for elementals. I'm just gonna keep that. And then from the chest, I got a hero track cloak that is also crit haste. So, with my first week of Mythic Plus down and the first episode here, I'm standing at 599 item level. I started off with 596. And now with the upcoming episodes, we're going to go into +9 and beyond. So I'm looking forward to see you then. See you in the next episode.